What's up, everybody? We're live. We have a pretty good card tomorrow. We got Jack Hermansson, the Joker, versus Joe Pyfer. Like I've always been saying, a lot of people don't really like this card. I think there's some fun fights, always opportunities to make some bets and cash them, and it's better than not having a Saturday, with no fights. Having a Saturday with no fights kind of sucks. Yeah, the breaks are always good, but a 1 week break, I hate those 4 week breaks around the holidays. So I'm glad we have UFC tomorrow, and let's do it, man. We'll do a little recap. So I'm 1-2 this year on the 3 UFC cards. We're still overall for the year 2.4 units. Last week, yeah, man, 1-2. I won on Madero, so I know it was a close fight. I do think he won the fight. Dober fight, I mean, it was a 1-1 going in the third, and he went for that, that lateral throw that he got in the second round, and he didn't get it, and that was literally the fight. He went for that, couldn't get up. That was the fight. Sucks. And then the Dolidze fight, yeah, that was a terrible bet. The worst Dolidze we've ever seen. It's my own fault. I even said going into that fight that I like betting on the younger fighter. Dolidze was 8 years older. I said I was going to go out of my statement or out of that use advantage for this fight, and it backfired on me, and it bit me in the ass. So it was a bad bet. Congrats to everyone that bet on Amaev out there. He completely dominated the fight. So last week we had a minus 3.3 units on the night. But like I mentioned, 1-2 on the 3 UFC events this year, and we're still plus 2.4 units. Overall, for the year, we got 3 bets for this card, and I hope we have a big weekend tomorrow. So first fight of the night, guys, we got Daniel Marcos versus Aori, So I think this is a good fight, man. I like Marcos. I've actually bet on him in every UFC fight so far, including his Contender Series. I bet on him in dog money on Contender Series. I bet on him against Simon, I think like a plus 160. And I also bet on him the last fight against Pick'em against Davey Grant. That was a close fight. He went out there and got the job done. But I think we didn't really see a lot of volume from him just because maybe he was kind of like hesitant, with what Davey Grant was going to throw, because Grant's still a good fighter. I think it's a good matchup for Marcos here. 2 strikers. I think Marcos is the better striker, definitely more volume, very good in the clinch, good knees, good boxing, good kicks, good pressure, good cardio. So, yeah, I like Daniel Marcos here quite a bit. And I know he had kind of a tough weight cut, but I still think he's a lot better than Aori. We've seen Aori lose the guys at 25, and yeah, he has power, but I mean, you're getting knocked out against Aman Zahabi. That's a very bad look. So Daniel Marcos, big advantage on the feet, in my opinion, and I think Aori's going to have to grapple here, and I don't think he can. So I got Daniel Marcos inside the distance, and I have him in a parlay with someone we'll talk about later on the card. So next fight, we got Fernie Garcia versus Hyder Amil. Fernie Garcia's taking this on short notice. I like Hyder Amil. He impressed me on Contender Series. He's going to be a lot bigger here. I think Hyder Amil's going to get the job done. I just don't think Fernie Garcia is UFC material, and I think Hyder's going to be the bigger guy. 2 strikers. I think Hyder's going to land the harder shots and win a pretty easy fight, maybe decision or finish. So I got Hyder Amil for a pick. Next fight, we got Zag Pyuga versus Bogdan Guskov. This is a jobber fight, man. I don't want to have any part in this fight. Just like another fight on this card we'll talk about later, man. I actually bet on Guskov against Ozdemir, and yeah, man, I was definitely one of the worst bets of my career. So some people could say, oh, well, you bet him versus Ozdemir, you should bet him here. He's the underdog. Like I said, I want no part of this fight. I was wrong about Guskov. I thought he was going to go out there and look good and beat Ozdemir. He looked terrible. I'm picking him to win this fight because he's the dog in a very close fight, but I'm not confident in this fight. I'm not putting money on it. I think Guskov wins, but I'm not confident. So for a pick, we'll pick Guskov. Max Griffin, Jeremiah Wells. This is a very close fight. Both these guys are around the same age. Damn, this is a good fight, man. I think Jeremiah Wells definitely has the better wrestling on the feet. Max Griffin's a little more technical. I think he has a little better cardio. It's a close fight. I don't want any part of this fight. It's not a jobber fight. It's just a very close fight. Both these guys are at the same kind of level. I feel like they're kind of well matched. I'll go with Jeremiah Wells because I think he has the better wrestling, but I'm not confident in this fight. Devin Clark, Marcin Prachnio, another complete jobber fest. I would never bet on Devin Clark at minus 200. I mean, I probably would even bet on Devin Clark at dog money, but Prachnio is a complete jobber. So I'm going to pick Devin Clark to get the job done, but this is a shit fight, and I want no part of it. Loma Lookboonme versus Bruna Brazil. A lot of people are picking the dog here, man, because she has huge size advantage, but she's chinny, and I think Luna can get takedowns here whenever she wants, and I think that she's going to be way faster and land some big shots on the feet. So I'm going to go with Loma to get the win, but I'm not confident in this fight. Next fight, we got Cuamba Oki versus Timmy Cuamba. I actually bet on Cuamba versus Vogel in Contender Series. I thought he got the job done. A lot of people said he got robbed. I don't think so. Very close fight. It's just he's a featherweight, and he's going up a weight class on short notice against a big boy in Oki. I'm going to pick Oki. I think he gets the job done. But like I said, I'm not betting this fight. It's a short, notice replacement. So it could be close, but I'm gonna go with Oki. Next fight, we got Trevin Giles versus Carlos Prates. This is my parlay. I got Prates with Daniel Marcos. I like him here a lot. I think he's a very exciting prospect. He's huge. He's 78-inch reach. This is a striker versus striker matchup. I think it's a huge advantage for Prates on the feet. I think he's, Giles has a good jab, but he's chinny. He slows down. Prates is just so long. Good kicks, good boxing. I think he's going to touch him up bad. Good jab. Big advantage on the feet. I think Giles has to go out there and shoot. Prates can get taken down, but, he has a BJJ black belt. So I think Prates is going to mess Giles up. Possibly get a submission. I think the submission for Prates is plus 800. Giles has been sub 3 times, but Giles is chinny too. He can get knocked out. So I think Prates is going to go out there and light him up, man, get a finisher. And he's just too big and physical and athletic for a guy like Giles. He's going to touch him up at his range. And I got Prates getting the knockout here. Or sub, we'll see. Both I can see. That's why I'm kind of hesitant to betting on the submission prop. But maybe I'll bet him in the distance. But I like Prates here quite a bit. I'm pretty intrigued with this guy. I'm pretty high on this kid after watching the tape. I think he's very impressive. And I think he's going to go out there and make pretty quick work of Trevin Giles. So my first play is going to be 3 units on Prates and Daniel Marcos in a parlay. I think it's like a minus 111. Let me check real quick. Yeah, minus 111. So next fight, guys, we got Rodolfo Viera versus Armen Petrosyan. The first time this fight got announced, I got Petrosyan. I bet on him, and then I think he got sick, and then it got scrapped. But I think it's a good matchup. Petrosyan's takedown defense on paper isn't the best, but his get-up game's really good. He has that Jamal Hill get-up game. He gets up really fast. We've seen him in some bad spots against Hobocop and Kyle Burrell, and they couldn't submit him. I get it. Viera could get – hold on real quick, guys. I think someone just rang my door real quick. Hold up. All right, guys. So back on this matchup, Viera could get a submission. That's how he wins, in my opinion, obviously in the first round. But I like what I've seen from Petrosyan. Obviously on the feet, he has a big striking advantage, big cardio advantage, and we've seen him, like I said, in spots against a way better fighter, in my opinion, Kyle Burrell, and he didn't get sub. So I think he's going to set the takedowns, possibly get taken down, get right back up, survive the hairy moments in the first round, and the longer the fight goes, it favors him. He has some of the best cardio in the division. He's going against one of the worst gashers in the division. We've seen Viera get dropped multiple times against Cody Brunn, is one of the worst fighters in the division. I think Petrosyan has great pace, good pressure, good kicks, good boxing. A lot of volume. That's one good thing about Petrosyan. So much volume, dude. So I think it's a great matchup for Petrosyan. I got 3 units on him at minus 105. And I think he's going to survive the early scares in the first round, and he's going to break Viera and get him out of there, man. And I think he's a lot bigger than Viera too, man, especially saw at the weigh-ins today. So I'm going to go with Armen Petrosyan. I see he finishes Viera. I wonder what he is in the distance. I'm kind of curious. Let me see real quick. Because that could be a pretty sneaky play. But right now, I bet him 3 units minus 105. The way I have it set up is I need 3 in my bets, or I have 3 bets. I need 2 of them to cash to the winning night. So Petrosyan in the distance is plus 230. Wow, man, that's a pretty good line, man. I think I think he can get it. I mean, he gets a lot of decisions, man. Petrosyan's a great fighter, but I think he can break Viera and get him out of there. So arm Petrosyan for the job done. Second bet. Next fight, we got Michael Johnson versus Darius Flowers. This is what I was mentioning earlier, man, about the Guskov Paugs fight. I actually really wanted to bet on Flowers here, but then I said I can't, man. I'm like, yeah, he has a big youth advantage, which is a big thing, but he's a complete jobber, dude. I just don't want any part of this jobber fight, man. I just don't want to bet on these jobber fights. I think Flowers is going to win just because I don't trust Michael Johnson's chin, and I mean he's at the end of the career and he's old and stuff. Flowers has a big youth advantage, but I mean Flowers' cardio is not really that good. He quit against Flake Matthews, so um, he's. I mean, we've seen him in all these different weight classes. I don't know. It's a tough fight, but I just think Flowers is going to catch him. But I'm not confident. I'm not betting it. I got Flowers from the pick. Next fight, Brad Tavares versus Gregory Rodrigues. Hobocop. This is another close fight, man. I've been back and forth in this fight. It's just, oh man, like I feel like both can knock each other out, dude. And Hobocop has a grappling advantage, but it's going to be really tough for him to take down Tavares. I just think that the power of Robocop is going to be the difference here. I think he can hurt Brad Tavares and get him out of there. So I'll go with the younger fighter and Hobocop here. How much younger is Hobocop? I'm kind of curious now. Let me see. Hobocop's 31, and we got Brad Tavares is 36. Yeah, dude, 5 years youth advantage. Wow. Next fight, we got Dan Ige versus Andre Fili. This is my last bet of the night, guys. I got 3 units on Fili at plus 145. I think this is a good spot for him. I know it's on short notice, but man, I've faded Ige quite a bit. I actually bet on him last fight against Bryce Mitchell. I just think this is a very close fight, and in a very close fight, I got to go with the underdog with plus 145. They should be a pickup, I think. I can see Fili. Fili has advantage in this fight. Like the striking's very close. Ige has more power and good boxing. But Fili's more dynamic, and he fights long. And I think he can kind of hurt Ige. Ige definitely is a durable guy, but I feel like we're going to see him slowing down pretty soon. This is a big fight for Fili, man. If he wins this in the top 15, Fili's been looking good. 2-1 his last 3. Got a good knockout one last fight. I think he has a cardio advantage. I think that he has a grappling advantage. I think he can get takedowns and steal the rounds. And he's the bigger fighter. Yeah, man. I think this is a very, very, very close fight. And I think that the jab and the straight right and the kicks are going to be the difference. I can see him winning, more volume. And like I said, striker versus striker matchup. Ige slows down in his fights. He's probably the more durable guy. I don't think Fili's a chinny dude. I mean, he's a durable guy as well. So, I mean, Ige is more durable. I'll say that, though. But if Ige doesn't knock out Fili, I think that Fili's going to win a close fight. And you've seen Dan Ige, Mitchell took him down 5 times, Evelyn 9, Korean Zombie 3, Bektik 3, Aguilar 1. I mean, he's getting taken down. So I think the difference in this fight is going to be the takedown. So I got Andre Fili winning a close decision. And my 3-unit bet on plus 145. Main event, Joe Pyfer, Jack Hermansson. Honestly, man, I'm not on the Joe Pyfer train yet, man. I think that he's going to be faded really soon. I'm going to pick him here. I think that the power is going to be the difference. We just don't know how his gas tank is. If he can't knock out Hermansson early in the first couple rounds, maybe we can see Hermansson. But, I mean, like I said, last week with the Dolidze fight, I mean, Piper's like 8 or 9 years younger, man. So I'm going to go with the younger fighter. I think Piper's power is going to be the difference. But I would not bet him here just because I'm just not sold on Joe Pyfer, man. Like, there's a lot of fighters right now in that division that I would bet against Joe Pyfer. I mean, I'd bet Kopylov in a heartbeat against Pyfer. So I probably bet Fluffy, too, against Pyfer, and they're both fighting each other. So I'm going to go with Joe Pyfer for a pick, but, I mean, I'm not betting this fight, man. It's a close fight. All right, guys. So for picks, we got Joe Pyfer, we got Fili, we got Bryczek. Oh, dude, I skipped that fight. My bad, guys. Robert Bryczek versus Potieria. I mean, I don't even care about this fight. Eor's dropping down a weight class against Bryczek, the newcomer. It's a very close fight. I'm going to go with Bryczek just because I think that he has a better gas tank. But, yeah, I'm not betting this fight. So I got Brasil for a pick. We got Hobocop. We got Flowers. And then Big Petrosyan. And then prelims, we got Prates, Oki, Loma, Clark, Jeremiah Wells, Guskov, Hyder, and then Daniel Marcos. So 3 bets, need 2 of them to win, to have a winning night. I got a parlay with Daniel Marcos and Prates, 3 units to -111. We got a straight bet on Andre Fili, 3 units plus 145. And we got a straight bet on Armin Petrosyan, 3 units to -105. So I got some 3 bets. Hope we have a winning night. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Please like and subscribe. We got a big week next week. I got 1 bet so far. I got Potieria, 3 units plus 100. Yeah, man, I think it's the Ilia Topuria season, man. I think it's a good spot for him, and we'll talk about the next week. Peace out, guys. Have a good night, and I hope everyone catches tomorrow. Later, guys.